welcome back to Alma's Little Wonders. Today is Saturday, March 14th of the year 2026, and I am back with some progress, and I'll also show you guys the projects that I finished in the time that I wasn't filming. So hopefully this won't be too much of a long video, but I do want to thank you all for your kind words. It's been very reassuring and very humbling to be welcomed back the way I have. I'm very happy to be back, and again, hopefully I can get back to some sort of routine in terms of filming. Of course, life always gets in the way. We've had construction work going on near our apartment, so it's been kind of loud even on weekends. So this is finally the first time that I've been able to film. So yeah, I do have quite a bit to show. So without further ado, let's get to the stitching. And I think I will show the whips first, what I've been working on the last couple of weeks, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys the finishes. So first up is one of the styles that I'm working on. This is Dragons A Field Guide by Climbing Goat Designs. And I've been working on this for about a week or so, maybe a little bit less, because I do try to stitch during the week in addition to the weekend. But I finally finished the border on this. I'm very excited. I think now I can just, obviously the only thing to focus on is the dragons now, but I did want to just get the border out of the way, and I'm happy to say it lined up, because that's always an issue, right? So for this one, I do want to keep going with changing the names of the dragons. I don't know if I showed you guys last time, or if you guys were able to see it on my last video, but I am trying to change the names of the dragons to suit the original language that they come from. So I do want to keep going with that, and then may or may not be changing some of the color schemes as well. But that's where that is right now. And then I've kept going with my sampler. This year will finally be the year of the sampler for me. So I'm trying to focus on those and touch 4 samplers at least once a month. So one of the other ones that I'm working on is 3 Things Sampler by Moira Blackburn. And this one, I do have a little bit more work to do, I think. I'm not sure, because the next motif is one of the larger ones. But this is what we're at so far. I think the lighting doesn't help with the fold lines, but I worked a little bit more on this side since I had finished the quote in the middle. I decided to just finish up that top side so I can focus on the middle. But yeah, this is slowly coming along as well. I'm stitching this on a 14 count, so that's why it's rather large, but that's okay. And yeah, hopefully by at least next month I can have that motif finished. Next up is English Garden Sampler by Teresa Wensler, and this one is going to be a little bit more slow going, but all the more reason to kind of push myself to work on it, because all the specialty stitches can be a little daunting, but as it is, I finished the two little trees that are on each side of the alphabet. I'm gonna see if you can get a little bit of a close-up so you can see some of that detail. I don't know if it'll let me focus a little bit more, but I call this done for for both February or March. So, you know, I did this one for 1 month and then this side for another month. So it won't be picked up again until April. And then another one of my samplers is the 2020 Linen Threads Mystery Sampler, the Friends and Family style. For this one, I'm not necessarily following and I'm not doing it for the Dragon style either. I'm not necessarily following it in the order that it was released. I'm just kind of going with, okay, how much time do I have to invest in this month, and where can I, get a decent amount of work done. So I did decide to start the big April piece. For all of you guys that did finish or start this or do this when it came out, I'm sure you guys remember that April was a big of a doozy. So I did start on that one, but I called it off at, maybe a third of the way done with it. Yeah, halfway done, I'm not sure. But I do want to finish the April portion next month. See, that's coming along. I do like the colors that I'm using. I'm going with the little accents here and there. So again, I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish it by the end of the year. It's not necessarily the whole point of touching or working on each whip once a month is not necessarily to get them finished. It's just to get progress done, because a lot of them were not touched whatsoever in a year, if not more. And then finally, this is kind of like to shift into the finished pieces, because this is a partial finish for my whips. This is the Disney Villain Ladies from Zana Cross Stitch. I got this off of Etsy. And I did not work on these, but again, kind of shifting towards the finish. I did finish the panel that I was working on since the last time I showed it to you guys in my whip parade or progress videos. So, and I did show it to you already finished during my whip parade, but I just wanted to show it to you again in case you missed it. Because this is going to be one of the next one I'm working on is going to be Maleficent. So it's going to be a lot of black. So I'll be working on those. And okay, now let me get my little booklet where I have all my information. I don't have these in any particular order, so I'll just go with it. I'll try to give you guys the information as much as I can. I do have my book where I can find out, dates and whatnot. So hopefully this will be a little smooth. But one of my big finishes of the year was Sleeping Beauty. Well, of the year, my almost 2 years. I don't know how long it was, but it was the gap, right? I finished this. I don't know if you guys can hear the barking outside. I finished this on December 5th of 2024. This was one of my oldest whips, and so I really wanted to get this done. I had originally started in January 2019, so it's been a minute since I had it. And there was a lot of confetti on this one, which is why it was slow going. I do have another one that's similar right now, that I also want to just go ahead and get it out of the way. And then another one that I finished, and I believe this one I finished back in December of last year. It's a relatively recent finish. This is Relentless from Ink Circles. I'm pretty sure I did finish this in December, because the last time I showed it to you guys, it was just a black outline. There was absolutely no color done whatsoever. So pretty easy stitch I just worked on it color by color and called it a day. So yeah, this will be gifted to a very dear friend of mine eventually. She doesn't watch these videos, so it's fine. And then I do have another relatively large finish. This was finished in November 2024. This is my summer tree. Not sure who the designer is on this one. Aurora, I think it's by Stitchery Stitch, if I recall correctly. From, saying it. Relentless. Oh, I finished it in October 31st, 2025. So a little bit before. A little bit before the end of the year. Let's see if I can find. Stitch Fairy Treasures is the Etsy seller that I got Aurora from. And this one again, I'm not sure where it came from. This was a gift by a subscriber. There is a collection because I do have another one of these trees, so it's a tree per season. So I have the summer one, there's spring and fall and winter. I believe I have the spring. This came with 11 count Ada, so I switched it out for a 14 count because 11 count was just a little bit too much for my for my taste. But that's just how these kits go. So yes, so this was also a pretty big finish. I'm very happy that I got to finally get it done. It's one of those where I just needed to sit down and do it. Because again, not that hard of a stitch either. And then I also finished Chopper. This is by Be Cute Today on Etsy. I did it on 18 count Ada. I finished this in May 2024. Very easy stitch, lots of big blocks of color. I did switch up the color a little bit, I think on the skin. They had more of a yellowish tone than I liked, so I switched it up a little bit. But I do like him. He's one of my favorite characters in One Piece. And I'm excited the next season is out on the live action where he's being introduced, so I'm excited for that one. But yeah, for this one, I ended up having to improvise a little bit because you can't tell because that's just how well I was able to match color, but I ended up running out of the light blue for the background like halfway through with it, and I started panicking, so I ended up blending like 2 colors to try to get a match for the one that I started using it. So that was a little bit of a crisis, but we powered through and we got it finished. It's great, it's fine. And then next up is I don't know if I can find the information. Here we go. I know it's Mandrake's Designs because I love her designs, but this is Iron Man. I finished him I think last summer. I started him November 8th, 2020. So I did start him along with Darth Vader. And for this one, I stitched him on 18 count white Ada. I'm very happy with how he came out. Lots of details, lots of outlining and detailing that went into it, but I'm very happy. I love the colors. She just really knows how to work with colors and make her designs very vibrant. So I may have to go back and see what she's done. What she's been up to lately, because I don't think she's on Etsy anymore though, so I'm gonna have to do some digging. But yeah, that's Iron Man, and because that's the last of the pieces. So it was Iron Man, Darth Vader, and the Bilbo piece, the Bilbo bagging piece. So that's all that I have for Mandarin's design. So again, I may have to go and get another one, start another one. Next up is Amsterdam from Zlata Cross Stitch on Etsy. She has, this is a part of a collection. There's 4 cities. There's London, Lisbon, Amsterdam, and I forget what the last one is. But Amsterdam is finished, and I did start on London. So hopefully I can get those done relatively quickly. But they're all being stitched on the same fabric. They're all being stitched on even weave. I believe it's 28 count. Might be 32. But that way I can get the detailing done a little bit easier, because there is a lot of it on these ones as well. So you can see with all the windows, and the bicycle had a lot of it. So yes, so I finished this in April of 2024. I finished this last year, and I started London pretty soon after that. Yeah. I did April 5th I finished it, and then April 6th I started London. So moving right along with that one. And another big finish is Dimensions Mason Jar lineup. And this one, I think you pretty much saw it just as I was starting it. This one I did make it my project of the year, so to speak. Me and my friends do a little challenge where we all pick one project that we split up into 12 different pieces, and we try to work those pieces so that by the end of the year we can at least, have one finish. So this was my focus for 2025. I finished it December 2025. And it was fun. It's very cute. It's just one of those things where, again, kind of breaking it up into those different sections helped it move along. Can't see what you're seeing, so I'm just gonna assume that you can see the flowers. But yes, I gifted this to my mama. She liked it, so I told her she could have it. So sure, take it. So we just need to find a frame for it. And that was it. I think for the most part, I don't have any more finishes, at least planned. This year has just really been about making progress on a lot of my bigger pieces and hitting milestones more than actually finishing individual projects. I have bought a couple that I want to start, but I'm not sure if and when I'm gonna do that yet, because just, again, schedule wise, I find that I'm not stitching as much as I once did. So kind of have to keep that in mind. But yeah, as always, if you guys have any questions, I do try to mention designers or where you can find these patterns if you want to stitch them for yourselves. But if you guys have any questions, you can always drop a comment below. And yeah, plans for the next, especially for this weekend, is I do want to work on Consider the Lilies. That's the other sampler that I have to or not have to, but I'm challenging myself to work on at least once a month. So I'm kind of behind on that one. I haven't done the February portion, so this weekend I kind of want to do both February and March. But I did want to have I was putting it off until the weekend, because for that one I do need to have a little bit of a more refined setup. I have all my threads just kind of open so that I can, because it's it's small motifs, so I'm switching colors a lot, so I don't like to just kind of work and then go grab the color and come back. I kind of like to just have all my colors here. But it is the weekend now, so plan is to get that done so that I can cross that off my list and then have the rest of March, the second half of March, to work on the Eternal Promise. That's another one that needs to get touched every month. And then see what else I can work on besides. So yeah, I hope that you'll have a relaxing weekend, a productive week, and you always find the time to do the thing that makes you happy. Until next time, ciao!